There we go. We are live and we're moving. How's everybody doing today? We're getting this live going here on Project Fresh. It is Tuesday, so we're in day 2 of this week. I am locked up here. Good. Okay, cool. I'm all good to go. I already see we got someone on. So what's up? I got a couple people on. Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to have you. Please drop in the chat where you're watching in from. Today, we're going to have a bit of information on the cost of health. Okay, we're going to talk numbers today. I run into a lot of people who are not willing to afford taking care of themselves, and I don't know where they end up afterwards because a lot of times I don't necessarily hear back from them, and so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the cost of health, and for myself, for the industry that I'm in. I'm on the preventative side of healthcare. So I'm on the preventative healthcare side. I'm not a what you might consider a traditional healthcare practitioner, or like I'm not a doctor. I'm not a orthopedic or a physical therapist or an orthopedic therapist or surgeon or those kinds of areas. But the tools, the education, the systems that we build as personal trainers, and I would take it a step further for myself, lifestyle coach, I get into the mental, emotional side of things too, that really can contribute to whether you have success in your health. Those are the things that a lot of times people don't realize are impacting their health. And it's not just being able to exercise well and also to, what would I say, exercise well and have the physique that you want, feel the way you want to feel, look the way you want to look, perform. The body is performing the way you want to perform, and that could be in relationships, performance in relationships, intimacy. That could be performance in just walking around, getting up and down, going up and down flights of stairs, and having the ability to do so, feeling free and energized and well in your body. And then once you learn how to do that, string together as many of those quality days as possible from the time you're, in your teens and 20s all the way until your later golden years. We want those golden years to be golden, right? So whatever the last few days or the last few years of your life may be, we don't know. None of us knows when it's time for us to check out. But our goal is to make sure that those days, whatever your days are, today, tomorrow, and so on, are quality days. Okay, that's what we focus on here at Project Fresh. And by the way, if you don't know me, you're checking in for the first time, or maybe you've seen our advertising and you want to see what we're really about. Will Ryan actually answer my questions when I ask him a question here on the live chat? Is this guy real? Is this just another one of uh, those people trying to snag my money? Can I really trust him? Do I know who he is? That's the reason why I'm doing this live stream, so that you can ask me live on a public forum where anybody and their mom can come and question and challenge and ask questions. And you can take this link and repost it onto your Facebook and drag me through the mud of social media if you want. This is a position that a lot of business owners may not do, because there's all the different implications, ramifications to it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to get out there and start working with people and providing our products and services on the most free of free that it can be. Like literally, there is no charge for you to jump on this channel, ask me a few questions, me answer them, and make sure that I answer them correctly based on what you're asking, and be on your way. Or invite you to my Project Fresh Facebook page, have us drop a Facebook uh, note or question, and we'll get back to you. We'll message you back and answer the question appropriately. We're looking to build that relationship with the individuals that we're connecting with in our advertising. We're getting on orientation, consultation calls with, and finding out where they're at. And today, I want to really address I guess, if you will, the common phrase, the elephant in the room, and that's cost. Okay, I told you guys for October I was going to be getting into some of the scary stuff that is involved or associated with healthcare, and today we're going to be talking about the price. And what's interesting about the industry is it's very easy to get very competitive in the physical world of fitness and training. So you got on the bottom end things like Planet Fitness, Crunch Fitness, I'm not sure what the prices are at the YMCA's actually. I have never gone to a YMCA. In fact, I've never even been in one that I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't think so. When I grew up, I'm from Pocatello, Idaho, so we had a community center that had, I think it had a small gym. I was either in the basketball court, in the pool, or in maybe another area. Like my brothers and I would play around in the racquetball courts, and I have absolutely no idea how much my parents paid for that community recreation center, but that's where we would get our exercise with our parents. They taught us how to swim. We all played basketball. We would run around there and outside. But when it came to gyms, to the physical side of fitness, meaning not online, not in a COVID sheltered in place scenario like we're in now, depending on where you are in the country. If you're watching this from Florida, I heard one gym owner say, we've had COVID 5, 6, 7 times, whatever. We're done with it. We're back to life as usual. Um, I don't know about that. I don't know if he was joking. Most likely was a joke, but that's kind of so that's not what's happening in California. I'll put it that way. We're still on lockdown here in California. You're either doing training sessions outside or you're doing it, secret on the DL, on the down low. People don't know you're doing it, but you're doing it. Um, the rating right now for safety is still minimum number of people. They are starting to allow people into enclosed spaces, maximum I think 10 or 20 people in certain cases I've heard. But I know for Planet Fitness, I think the lowest you can pay is like $10 or $20 a month for Planet Fitness. The problem is with that is that you have a gym membership and you go and you work out, but if you don't have a plan for fitness, then that doesn't cover you in what you need to do. And the second you start hitting plateaus, what do you do? I've been working out for 3 months and my body hasn't changed. In fact, I'm gaining more body fat. I've lost weight, but why do I still have this fat? Or why is the skin starting to sag more? Why am I feeling weaker than I was before? There are certain things that a coach is going to provide for you in those scenarios. And if you're not paying a personal trainer at Planet Fitness, per se, then you're not going to figure that out. You can get online, but if you're not motivated to get it done through accountability, having someone you can meet with on a regular basis, you still may not get it done. Chances are probably at best 10-20% of people are going to be so motivated they're going to get it done no matter what. And then you got the 80% of the population where it's like, guess I just don't know what to do, so I'm just going to either keep doing what I've been doing or leave it alone or hire somebody. So I know 1% of the population out there is ready to make a decision. Those ultimately are the people I'm looking to connect with. And of course, there's a cost associated with doing that business. We're a business just like anybody else. If you're in the business of buying hats, this material isn't free, right? This requires a cost. I've paid dollars to get this product. Services, we pay for Netflix, um, we pay for cell phones, right? Cell phones to have calls and keep in touch and be, on the internet at the extent of our fingertips. This is a service and a product put together in this case. There was real materials that were required to put this together. There was a network that needed to be set up. The network lines, the physical infrastructure of the cell phone company, as well as the digital side, and then the people to run it and make it go. And so that was the cost for the business to provide the product and service. So it required that they have an exchange. Same thing for us. There are a bunch of different areas in your health and fitness where you can experience plateaus. It's not just weight loss. You can plateau in your resistance training, your cardio training. You can plateau in the effectiveness of your nutrition plan. You can plateau because you're not sleeping well, you're not drinking enough water, you're drinking too much water. You can plateau because your hormones are impacting you. Your cortisol levels are very high through the roof, out of whack. Your emotional status, your spiritual status, your mental status has got you. You're so preoccupied in something you can't keep your schedule going. There's a lot of different things that can derail us from having a successful fitness and nutrition plan. And the reason why we tell clients we're looking for a 6 month with our service, 6 month commitment, is because we know 6 months 6 months is a good period of time to really get some lasting results. Question we'll typically ask our clients is, when was the last time you were in a consistent program that went 6 months long. And then if you've done that recently, how was that 6 month period? Were you getting the results you desired? Were you in your ideal goal body, performing, looking, and feeling exactly like how you wanted to be? Was your nutrition managed and having no issues, etc.? Things like that. So you get that. You don't necessarily get that service. You get the gym, which is the product. And then if you move up into the spectrum, you get into the equinoxes and the bay clubs and the, I'm not sure. Well, I know as far as 24-hour fitness, I think they have two. Oh goodness, I'm gonna space his name. It's they're only in LA. It's two Magic Johnson branded 24-hour fitnesses, which is the ultimate experience for um, 24-hour fitness. And then you get the higher end stuff, the private super trainers and folks that you can get like Manko Fitch. I don't think she goes by that anymore, but Maciel Arias is one on the ladies' side. Girl Boss is one. Um, where's some of the guys? One that I've bought service from is Athlete X, Jeff Cavalier. He's all over the country on YouTube. You find him on YouTube. The guy that I learned from, Tony Horton, has his own private product line. On top of all the stuff he did with Beachbody and P90X, there's so many different people on that higher end that you can hire and get connected with private trainers, celebrity trainers, and that pricing can be astronomical. You could be talking about upwards of 200, 250 a session working with those kind of guys. That's just a session. That's, we just went from 10, $20 a month to $100, $200 a session. So that's in the physical world. And then you get online, and well, it all depends. It really all depends. There isn't really any set parameter as far as it. So you're going to find someone who's going to provide you value that's irresistible to a point that's like, hey, I'm ready to work with you. And I do have people who do sign up with me. So if you've been on an orientation call with me and you're like, I don't like your prices, I don't like your situation, hey, that's fine. I'm not worried about that because it's business. I've said that to people too. I've said the exact same thing. I don't like your prices. I don't see the value in it for me. I am not going to do this. And that's just the name of the game. So as a business owner, I know that people are going to sign up based on if they're really willing to do it. I mean, I could technically charge for a 6 month program. I could probably legitimately charge $10,000 for a 6 month program. And it's like $10,000. That's ridiculous. Well, that's why I don't talk about price. I talk about what you're going to get so you can make an informed decision. Because if you made your decisions solely based on money all the time, would you get the best quality? Would you get like, we know the cheaper it is, the less, like if you buy the knockoff version of a quality made product, more chances than not, unless it's a company that figured out the model, they got it down packed where they're providing great quality across the broad range of people. So great quality, great product service, and all that style. Then and they can wholesale it. Like let's say Costco, for example, they've got great products and great services. A lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know about. They've got millions of members. Okay, now they've brought that price down for a wholesale discount model where you're paying what are we paying, baby? 99 a year for Costco. It's like $99 a year to be a member at Costco, which is nothing. Or Amazon Prime to get your free shipping. That's what, $129 a year. They have taken that product or service or both and just made it so irresistible that people are like, take my money. And it's no different in any other business. So ultimately I know that. And ultimately it is what it is. We all experience it. We all go through it. So I'm not going to be hurt by it. The goal is to make you guys aware of what the cost is. What is the cost? What would be the word I'm after? There's a specific term that's used for this. I probably could pull it out of my head, but what is, like, based on the title that I have for today, you pay for it today or you can pay for it tomorrow. The cost analysis, the cost, there's something to that I'm just not getting. But anyway, long story short, pay for it today or you can pay for it tomorrow. And I'll just tell you straight up, when it comes to your health, when it comes to taking care of yourself, and this isn't just a monetary cost, it's so much cheaper on the front end. It's so much cheaper today than it is tomorrow. I will speak to the money really quick because what's really interesting is that this is going to be, that's a macro scale. I want to get a micro scale. I want to see if there is something that's more to the individual, because this is broad. Oh, this is talking about vaccines. This has nothing to do with assessing costs of. This is all vaccine related. That's not what I wanted. I should have spent a little bit more time. What I might do is double up on this topic and have some more specifics for you guys tomorrow as far as some tangible data for every $1 spent on. Okay, yeah, so a lot of this stuff initially, if you look up something along the lines of average cost of healthcare due to preventable diseases, they're bringing up vaccinations for viral related issues, chronic diseases maybe related to tobacco or alcohol, those kind of easier ones. I wouldn't say they're easier necessarily. The discussion of the soaring costs focus on it. So, okay. Well, let me put it this way. Let me just leave it at this because this is addressing more. Well, actually, no, this is back in 2018. I'll get you guys some more specific data tomorrow. Let's do that. Come back tomorrow for part 2. We'll do a part 2 tomorrow for this topic. But let's put it this way. We all know that cost of healthcare is exceptionally expensive. And, you know, as far as if you have the premium healthcare or if you don't have it at all, there's going to be a cost associated with you going to see the doctor when the need arises for you to go see a doctor. Okay. And we know how expensive that is, especially if you bring an ambulance into it, urgent care, whatever it may be. Now, I'll just give you this example. The doctor told my father, and I was there in this process too, in his 4 years of fighting cancer, which ultimately he ended up passing away, which was, you know, very difficult for my family and I. It's really, really hard to see my mom go through that. Prostate cancer, very preventable or manageable in the early stage cancer, from what we understand. Managing the PSA, making sure it's under 2 for that PSA rating, 2 to 4. You need to manage it really closely. Anything over 4, definitely something to be paying attention to. Getting with your doctor, making those necessary steps and addressing appropriately. That was exceptionally expensive. I can't even remember how much for, like, it was either one, for some of the stuff my dad was doing, it was either keto, sorry, not keto, chemo, bouts of chemo one time a week or one time every other week. It was either the chemo or it was a proprietary or it was some kind of therapy that he was doing. It was pills was a part of it. I think those pills were something like $500,000, $2,000 a pill or something crazy like that. I don't remember the exact cost, but it was stupid how much it costs for that. You start to think about how if you do that for even 8 weeks, that's $4,000 to $8,000 in just an 8-week period. You could afford fitness, nutrition, and accountability or the right plan for much less than a year period of time. I mean, significantly less. And to see my dad go through that, to see my mom suffer that loss, and my family and myself included, was absolutely miserable because the doctor told him they could have caught it upwards of 10 years before he was diagnosed. And in the point that I went with my mom and dad to a cancer center just outside of Salt Lake City, actually, or in the outer parts of Salt Lake City. They have a cancer center there. It was the closest one to where we lived in Southeast Idaho. After looking at the scans and the MRIs that my dad looked at, which showed his prostate being, gosh, 2 or 3 times the size of the bladder, go ahead and look at the size difference of what it should be. You'll go, dang, that's not good. And no, it wasn't. Long story short, the doctor looked at me. I'm 26 at the time, and he goes, Ryan, you need to be aware of your health moving forward. This is now a pre-existing condition for you. Like, you want to start as early as 40, if not later. I mean, I'm 26 thinking, man, why would I need to even be thinking about this in my middle 20s? And here this doctor is saying, you need to be aware of this ASAP. Well, thankfully, this is my profession. But there are even guys like me who are in great shape, who exercise and eat relatively well, who can drop dead like that from from something health related. Unfortunately, we saw it with Chadwick Boseman. Again, don't know the very specifics, but colon cancer was what was the issue for him. Unfortunately, he didn't win that battle with colon cancer. Very, very, very sad story, especially with all the work that we've seen him do recently. And the list goes on. I don't know, like I said, the specifics, but it's just a more recent case that I can bring up to kind of get this conversation going some more, is that the costs can be astronomical, and all of us are not rolling in that Chadwick Boseman bankroll. So, um, to do my job, to do what I'm supposed to do as a preventative side of healthcare, or a preventative healthcare practitioner, or very simply a personal trainer, lifestyle coach, nutrition coach, is to make people aware, at least provide the information, hoping that they will listen to what I have to say and at least consider it. You don't have to do business with me. And it's at the end of the day, the people who are ready, who like us, our product, we see that, you fit for the match. We like you. There's a relationship there and available to get started. Great. We're going to jump and go and get after it. But to do my job in this industry overall is to say that the cost of healthcare now is already crazy enough just to have healthcare insurance. I remember when my wife and I first got married, and that the requirement for the Healthcare Act was to have healthcare insurance. If not, you would get the penalty. I think my wife wasn't working. I had just left my job to do this full time. So we had to do what's called Covered California here in the state of California. And they find the best plan for you based on your income. And they supplement accordingly based on how much you're making. I think the very little amount that we spent on a monthly basis was like 400. I started to make some more money. My wife may have gotten a job or something like that. We had looked at it again, and it was like 700 a month for us. And we also were looking at some supplemental healthcare coverage that, if you look at like healthcare coverage, there's these gaps, right? Well, the supplemental health coverage would like fill those gaps up effectively. So we got that for like another $100. So we were spending anywhere between 500 and 800 a month just on healthcare insurance, which, okay, the basic things like maybe an annual physical for me, blood panel screen to make sure my biomarkers, my internal chemistry and biomarkers are good. Those kinds of things was the most I was doing. Make sure I wear contacts, so I need to get an eye exam. Keep the teeth clean, because you think about it, everything you eat, goes into your body, right? So the condition of your teeth. I want to say this especially for the gentleman, well, for everybody in general, but they're starting to see some correlative aspects that I think the science isn't there to say it's a firm yes, but I think they're starting to see correlative markers that your teeth health can impact what prostate and colon health can be. So if you got teeth related issues, I strongly encourage you to floss like there's no tomorrow, to brush those teeth. I'm finding that getting a toothbrush that has the vibration function in, spend the $100 and get one. Our dentist hooked us up with one. We got some cheapos that we use too from Costco. My my appointment was 2 weeks ago with my dentist, and they said that everything looked good. I had a little bit of staining, and I hadn't flossed in like 6 months or something. And this little toothbrush that had that vibrating feature had changed the day for me, because if I had a regular toothbrush and maybe flossed every so often, I know that I would have crazy buildup. In fact, one time I had to do a deep clean. And if you've ever had a deep clean a at a dentist, you know how miserable it is. It hits you with the local, your face is all falling, it hurts like hell. I mean, it's so miserable. So anyway, back to my point, that full coverage, that preventative care has a cost. Now, if you're not eating well, if you're not moving your body, which our body will literally start to have some decay in it if we're not exercising and keeping blood flow optimized, that does have a long-term effect. You might not notice it in your 20s, you might not notice it in your 30s, you might not notice it in your 40s, you might get lucky in your 50s. But if you want those quality years in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, and however far you want to go, however far the good Lord lets you go, each of us, we don't know. A lot of that quality is going to come based on the dividends and the investments you put in today. Now, our goal here isn't to fat shame. Our goal here isn't to guilt. Our goal isn't to make anybody feel bad. It's just to give the facts, give the evidence, and let you know that cases like my dad do exist where, had it been for more consistent exercise, more consistent eating habits, addressing the teeth, some of those other things, 64 may not have been his last year. I'm not God, so I really don't know that. But there's evidence that shows that the potential is there, and on a high percentage too. If we're looking at it from just pure numbers, there's a high percentage likelihood that he would have stayed with us more years. And I think if any of you have experienced cancer or any other preventative healthcare diseases or ailments or anything along the lines, diabetes is very common, hypertension is very common. These kinds of things, you've had a family member or yourself, heart attacks, experience those things, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So again, back to cost, you've got that side. So we're looking at healthcare if you can afford it. You're looking at preventative healthcare, a coach training, those kinds of things. And then you're looking at the other side where you have to utilize that healthcare, and you're in dire circumstances where now you might be paying 10 or 100 over here, 2, 3, maybe 4 figures over here. Now you're paying 4, 5, 6 figures over here for your healthcare costs. And that's something that I think we all know. If you don't, definitely look at what is the cost of your healthcare plan. Is there anything in your healthcare plan that would supplementally pay for your preventative healthcare as far as exercise, nutrition? Does your employer have benefits or programs? Like there are certain companies that I've spoken to or worked for, provided personal training and coaching to, where the company actually provides a certain amount of money towards their exercise and their nutrition. Maybe coaching, maybe hosting classes. I taught a couple boot camps at some different businesses, private businesses, public businesses in the South Bay of San Francisco in my career so far. I literally was just about to work at Facebook, where they will stipend a certain amount of the workforce there before they start paying for it. It's just as far as personal training and group class fitness. So your company may offer that to you, but ultimately, I can tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, your cost on this side, on the preventative side, is going to be significantly less than what it could be on the other side. So ultimately, you, we, I, all of us are going to have to make that choice and decide, am I going to prioritize this? Am I going to give my time, energy, effort, and my finances, my treasure to it? Or am I going to say and actively decide, by the way, actively decide, I have to really put that accountability out there because it goes the same for me as anyone else. Actively decide that this really isn't that important and just determine whether you do so directly or indirectly, that I'm setting myself up for potential problems in the future, and then just live through the lifestyle. I'm not able to keep up with my nieces and nephews, my little cousins, my grandkids, because my health isn't all there. I could afford to exercise, but it's not that big a deal. Or my eating habits are helping, showing me that I'm gaining a little bit more around the midsection, or my doctor has been getting on me for a number of years that I'm brittle, I'm not very strong. I'm afraid. I had one client tell me, you're great at running. You've got a great, body there, and that's excellent. But I'm afraid that you're, here soon, not going to be able to take your carry-on luggage and put it up over into the overhead container. Your strength is not there. Those are real life situations. Everything I just shared with you guys, all real life situations that occur, that people go through. And ultimately, what moves us is two parts of motivation, and I'll end here. And like I said, we'll cover this more tomorrow. I'll give you guys some more solid information, some number specific, but back to that motivation. We can be moved by inspiration, meaning we're inspired, we're encouraged, and we're motivated through maybe self-inspiration or from someone else. You've seen someone have a transformation, or they've been talking about you, they've been just blasting on their Facebook page, singing to the high heavens, how my life is so much better because I'm in better shape and I'm eating better and, whatever they did to do so. And life, they just seem to be full of joy every time you talk to them. Inspiration in that category, or situation, health scares, family health scares, the doctor saying, watch out, this is going to be an issue for you if you don't do something about it. Um, Someone's got COVID. There's, parameters and markers based on the chances of you potentially contracting the COVID virus or any virus for that fact. Your immunity is directly impacted based on how you eat, how much you exercise. If you're stressed out, if you're not eating well, if you're not exercising, if you're sleeping poorly, that is messing up your adrenal system, which is setting your immunity up for failure. If you find yourself being sick all the time, you might want to take a step back and look at that. That's all I can say is that if you're sick, your kids get sick and you're going to get sick, even though you could handle those kids and not get sick because built up immunity, there may be something you want to look at. And I'll just leave you guys with that. Ultimately, again, my goal here at Project Fresh is to educate, to make aware, and to bring solutions and services that are going to assist people who want to take action and have that transformation, that life turnaround. If that's not you, hey, that's fine. That probably means this is not for you. And I give you my blessings and very best moving forward, because I do want to focus on those who are ready to get after it. And yes, there is a cost associated. Yes, we do have free programming. Yes, we do have free products and services, which, by the way, I'll go ahead and cover that really quick. If you look in the description, our small and large package is now free to enter. And by free, I literally mean $0. Free. I'm going to update the description now, so you'll see that in today's video. I've got this all saved in our playlist for Project Fresh live streams. The custom service product and packages is free to enter. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you to those who have subscribed and are watching us, catching up with us, checking in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go over to our Project Fresh Facebook page, which I'll go ahead and drop that here in the chat too, so you guys have that. Go over and please give us a like, engage with us, drop a comment, drop us a note. We'll get back to you. We check that out on a daily basis. Do those two things. Message us at Facebook and say, I want a spot in the raffle for the selection for the custom product and service package. Our small is a 30-minute planning call. A 30-minute planning call. We're going to cover your goals and objectives with your health and fitness. We're going to look at your current obstacles and hurdles that are getting in the way of you, which could be you. We might be assessing that you're the reason why you're getting in your own way. I'm just going to let you know that I'm getting in my own way in my spiritual growth, in my own mental health right now. So I have a mentor who I am working with on a weekly basis every Wednesday. I hired a addiction and success specialist because I found I was dealing with and still working on some codependency. So I hired him from December all the way up until 2 weeks ago. We worked for almost 10 months together. Actually, it was a full 10 months. I hired and paid him in the category of 4 figures to work through that stuff because I knew it was getting in the way of my relationship with my wife. I knew it's getting in the way of being an effective coach here. And so I put my money down to get it going. And then we'll do a 30 and 90-day game plan for you for your success in that 30-minute call. Our medium package is a free box of a superfood supplement that is themed for the month. Our Spiiiiicy and Spoooooky package, which includes some pumpkin spice plant-based superfood. It's a nutrition shake. It's been something I've been working with for 8 years. Shakeology. You may have seen it before. You may have had a friend beat you over the head about it. I offer it to my clients still because it is a great product and it does provide great results for my clients. I like it. And ultimately, if no one raffles for it, then I guess my wife and I will have it. Maybe we'll see. But the medium package comes with that, as well as a 21-day transformation program and accountability. So we'll cover fitness, nutrition, accountability in a 21-day span. And then our large package, which is not free, we're going to keep that one at high value. That's 1,500. So 1497, meaning 1497 period. Four figure is the value. A spot in that at $25 a pop for the selection process there. So there are ways for you to get involved with our company for free, plus this format here live. We do have our 6-week transformation program for those who actively commit to that. They do get 6 weeks if they choose that option, which is free. Ultimately, we offer other options for our business as well. But at the end of the day, the goal is to really provide products and services that are going to get you guys the results you're looking for. So I've had 2 people stay with me here all the way through, and I'm even going 5-6 minutes over. So thank you to those 2 that have been with me here through the entire live stream broadcast. You'll catch us back here again tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You will be getting part 2 on the average cost of healthcare due to preventable diseases, which I imagine is going to be a high number. Not expecting anything low by any means. I'm sure it's going to be one of those oh my gosh numbers. So once I find some better data for you guys, I'll present that to you tomorrow. In the meantime, I hope you have a blessed evening. I hope you have a safe evening, and stay well, okay? We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night. See ya.